Hello friends, today we are talking about how mindset affects performance. Have you ever been in a place where you felt like your mindset held you back? Most of us at one time or another have been in that situation, but the key to success is learning how to train yourself to get out of that mindset and to improve into a better headspace, no matter what's going on. And today I'm going to show you how to train yourself to do exactly that. So think about it for a minute. Who are the people in your life that you love to be around? Usually it's those people who build each other up, they build others up, they're positive, they're energetic, and it doesn't matter what's happening in their life. Well, even though most of them might just be that way, I would venture to guess that most of them have trained themselves to be that way. And today I want to show you how to do the same thing. And I want to start off by talking about why a positive mindset is so important and what you can do to train your mind to have a positive mindset to improve your performance. And finally, what learning this will do for you, not just in your personal life, but in your professional life and every aspect of your life. If you're ready, let's go. So why is a positive mindset so important? Well, first off, it opens doors. Think about it. Most of us don't want to talk or be around somebody who's constantly negative. When those people are energetic, they're positive, they're happy, they make them more approachable. It's easier to talk to those individuals. So first off, it opens doors immediately. I remember one of the coolest TED Talks I ever heard was by the gentleman by the name of Sean Aker. It was called The Happiness Advantage. He was a psychologist, worked at Harvard, and he studied happiness. He had said that a lot of times people will equate happiness with accomplishment. So when I do this, I'll be happy. When I do that, I'll be happy. Another way you could look at it is like, when I do this, I'll be positive. Or I'll be positive when this happens. But if you're doing that, you're setting yourself up for failure because guess what? You might have a goalpost out there you're trying to reach or a goal, but it seems like the goals are always moving. The finish line is always moving, right? You want to get into a good school? Get in a better school. You want good grades? Get better grades. You want to hang around cool people? Hang around cooler people. It's not necessarily the destination that makes you positive or happy. It's being able to find that in the journey. His conclusion was that happy people are successful people. Positive people are successful people. Rather than having the destination be your guide to make you positive or happy. That's never going to happen. So what can a negative impact have on individuals? Well, this is pretty easy, right? Think of the people that you don't want to be around. Chances are they're pretty negative, right? They're pretty degrading. I remember in one neighborhood that we lived in, there was this lady and she was the sweetest lady. Whenever we saw her, she was complimenting me or my wife. She was just somebody who every time you're around her, you felt special. And when you're around those individuals, man, it makes a world of difference. And I decided right then and there, and probably before that too, because my mom was a pretty positive individual, but I wanted to be that type of individual who built people up and lifted others around me. On the other end of the coin is if somebody is negative, it's almost like they're pulling a plow behind them, right? Imagine carrying a massive weight behind you that's getting stuck in the ground every time you go. It's just pulling you down and pulling you backwards. There was an individual that I was working with doing some training and coaching. And when we first started talking, I remember him telling me all these bad things that were going on in his life, and they were all other people's fault. And I remember thinking like, man, how can you ever correct any of this if you can't change those people? And guess what? You can't change people. That's outside your sphere of influence. It's outside your control. Being able to improve your mindset for performance will never happen when what you're looking to do is all based on other people. And knowing you can't change other people, you'll never get out of the rut until you realize and take ownership of you and your mindset. And if you're positive, can you then change to improve your performance? It was an eye-opening situation for him. He'd never looked at it that way before. And knowing that that was the case and he could take ownership of it almost set him free to be able to say, now I can control this. And it is. It's something that once you realize you have control, that happiness is a choice, positivity is a choice, all of a sudden change the trajectory of your life, both personally and professionally. So what can you do to train your mind to be positive? Well, like any other muscle in your body, it's similar to that, right? The more times you find yourself being negative or not being positive and you stop and you start thinking, what can I do? How can I change this to be positive? It becomes easier and easier the next time. It's really interesting. There was a study that was done. A gentleman had got all these cups of water and he had individuals speak really negatively, really bad, said degrading things to these cups of water and they froze them. They had another group speak all positively, beautifully, positively to these cups of water and froze those. The shape in which these cups froze that were spoken to negative was distorted and ugly, but those that were spoken to in a positive, happy sense became beautiful crystalline images that he said it was no doubt in his mind that because of what was said to these individuals shaped how these were frozen and the images that came from these. So if it does that to water and ice, think what it does to us as individuals. So what's another thing you can do to train your mind to be positive? Well, they say that it takes 21 days to change a habit. We did this in our organization one time. We said, okay, we're going to do a 21-day challenge. Every day you're going to do a handful of things. You're going to write down 3 things you're grateful for. You're going to have an affirmation of positivity in your mind, and you're going to tell somebody else that you appreciate them. So the fact that you're practicing gratitude over a 21-day period of time can start to change some of those thoughts to positivity. If you're positive, it's going to elevate your performance. The cool thing about that is gratitude is extremely powerful. When you change your mindset from one of greedy or negative to one of gratitude and happiness, that positivity ultimately comes from that because it's a higher elevated feeling. Nikola Tesla says everything is energy. And if we're putting energy out there that is positive by expressing gratitude, then our vibrational energy starts to raise and we're attracting things that vibrate at a positive level around us. I mean, think about it. If you're vibrating at a certain frequency and you want something amazing in life and your vibrational energy is really low, you're never going to attract that. But if your vibrational energy is high and the goal you want has a high vibrational energy, that attraction becomes more mutually beneficial and is more realistic to happen in your life. Another thing you can do to train yourself to have a positive mindset that will improve performance is visualization. Visualization is absolutely imperative when it comes to changing your mindset. At a subconscious level, our mind knows what we want. We don't have to say it. At a conscious level, we might say things, but subconsciously, it's almost like drops of water have been emptied into a bucket over a long, long period of time. That's our subconscious. And so be able to access our subconscious, we have to visualize what we want in the future now. And we need to visualize it in the present tense, but doing it now. And all of a sudden, the mind starts to work towards those things happening. I was at a conference the last few days, and the power of visualization is real. I can tell you that. We did an exercise where we mapped out what we call our manuscript of where we see ourselves like a year or 2 years down the road. And we really descriptively, with visual imagery and with all 5 senses, wrote that out. It was a really powerful practice that I'd recommend doing. And what that does is it starts to improve our mindset, improve positivity, and when we do that, we improve performance. So how does mindset affect performance? We've talked a lot about ways to become positive, how to train your mind to be positive. Well, first off, as I mentioned, by you having the right mindset, you can take accountability for everything in your life rather than things happening to you. Because things happen to us, right? All the time, there's things that are going to happen to us. We can't control that, but we can control how we react to different things in our life. And when you realize that, you take ownership of that, that type of mindset is going to improve performance. And it does it by helping us think differently. All of a sudden, we start shifting the way that we think, and we realize that, okay, this happened, but I can respond in this way, and your performance starts to elevate around those things. Your energy starts to raise. There's one final story that I think is pretty cool I'd like to leave you with. There was a situation where 2 twins were separated at birth. One went to live in a family that did amazing things. They were positive, they're happy, right? Had the right type of mindset. They performed at a high level. The other one went to a family that wasn't that, right? Everything opposite that I just said was probably that family situation. When those twins got together at some point in the future, you could see the difference, the environment that they grew up in. This one was a high performer, this wasn't. It's because of what they grew up in. And you might say, well, man, I've grown up in a challenging situation. We're not necessarily interested in where you are right now, but it's the end of your story that we're interested in. And you can start right now to create a new story. And so mindset in my mind is paramount. If you can figure out how to train your mind to be positive, right, regardless of any situation, that mindset is going to be there. And a mindset that has that type of mental fortitude is going to enhance performance in everything that you do. Now, these are a few things that I've done that have worked really well for me. I'd love to hear your feedback, so feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to engage in a dialogue. And as always, I've got a free gift for you. AaronsSalesTraining.com. It's on the link below. It's 20 of our best modules on persuasion and influence, and it's completely free. It'll help you personally, professionally. Once again, thanks for stopping by, watching the video. Have an amazing day.